Welcome back to BFA Audio Blog, where they have allowed me to be uncensored and unplugged. This is Keith Johnson, who has an announcement that no one has heard. No, I'm telling you, I'm in the studio, the Keymaker's here, and I have an announcement that he doesn't know about. No one knows. My wife doesn't know about it. I'm the only person that knows about this big announcement, and I'm going to hold off until the end to give it to you, and hopefully he won't quit on me. But listen, folks, I'm so glad that you're here. We are in the midst of a 5-episode miniseries that is causing the kind of response that we've been waiting for. People are talking about it. They're responding. They're watching. We've got more people that are giving us input and all sorts of things. I'm going to get to that a little bit later. Commenting. If you haven't gotten a chance to do it for last week, you missed it. If you weren't able to do it for the first one, you missed it. Unless you're a premium content library person, you can go to BFA Academy. You can become a premium content person. But what we're doing is we're making 5 episodes available every single weekend. Episode 1, good. Episode 2, through the roof. And episode 3, can I be honest with you? I was a little nervous about doing it. I'm going to give you a secret. When we were working on the editing, the Keymaker got nervous. There were parts in episode, no, it's the truth. Were there parts that you said you didn't think we should do? No, I'm just asking you. So my point is, I'm not trying to throw you under the bus. All I'm saying is there are parts in episode 3 that were difficult for the Keymaker. And I will be honest with you, they were difficult for me. But we went ahead and did it. It is up right now. Episode 3, I would like to call it this. In fact, you know what? We're going to change the title. Change the title. The title before was called The Name Game. And the reason it was called The Name Game is because I couldn't figure out anything else for it. But guess what we're going to call episode 3? Connecting the Dots. That's the new title. No, I wanted on that. No, change. What do you mean you can't? Change the title to Connecting the Dots, episode 3, and let me tell you what some of the dots have to do with. Now, some of you are going to get nervous. I'm not a conspiracy theorist guy, a theory guy. I just am a guy that likes to see how the picture is painted. I love to be able to see where the dots are connected. You know, I used to do this thing, Keymaker, when I was a kid. They had this. They don't do this anymore now because, you know, these new high-tech kids, they got computers and they got phones. But when I was a kid, they had this little deal where you could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and draw a line from 1 to 2. You don't know this, you're too young for this. 3, how many old folks out there know what I'm talking about? And you'd connect the dots and you'd have painted a picture. Let me tell you something. The Now is the Time series, connected with Time Will Tell, and what's coming after that, the dots are connected, the picture's been painted, and I am excited to show the world what we have come across. The revelation that's come forth, I think, in my opinion, has really brought people to a place where they're thinking, and I love that. I love anything that's going to allow people to have to dig for themselves, make their own conclusions. I don't want to beat people over the head, but be honest with you, there's a lot that we need to be aware about right now in our country. There's a lot amongst the people of faith that we need to be aware of. And I want to stop for a second. I have been so discouraged lately with the kind of arguing and the contention that's going on amongst people. It's really been bothering me lately. I'm not sure what I can do about it. I'm not sure I can't do too much about it at all. I love to throw out questions for people to have discussion and try to come to some conclusions, but this whole attacking that's going on right now is just bothering me. Anyway, I got an announcement that is huge. This announcement actually took place 5 minutes ago. I'm telling you, 5 minutes ago, 4 minutes? He's telling me it's 4 minutes. Who cares? It's my show, okay? I can do this as long as I want. I can talk as long as I want. I don't want any more time frames. I want to be able to just talk. And I'm going to tell you why. Because, folks, let me be honest with you. There's some things that are going to happen in the next couple weeks that really, in my opinion, are probably the most important phase of where we are with the BFA. The Biblical Foundations Academy International website is getting to a place now where our numbers are going through the roof. People are coming and they're interacting with us. The kind of information we have available there. By last count, there were over 50 plus episodes of some sort in the Premium Content Library. 100+ things that people can interact with as just a free member, and even more when you just, when a person just signs in. There are things that you can do. Now, there are 3 levels, really. I think there are 3 levels on the BFA website. Can I talk about them for a second? First one, the pastor who says, who is this guy, or what is this ministry that's got my parishioners asking me questions? And the person says, bfainternational.com. Pastors are now visiting the site. They're getting a chance without any registration, no commitment, to see a lot of what we're about. And I just have to tell everyone, as a United Methodist pastor, I am a United Methodist pastor. I've got papers. Okay, so they're in the attic, but I'm a United Methodist pastor. They don't like me much, but I am. Anyway, these pastors will come to the site. They'll interact with some of the information. Every single door, time, Torah, Tetragrammaton, God's clock, God's word, and God's name. You go through that door and you get a chance to interact with the information we have if you're not a registered person. If you're a registered person, you have access as a free member to just about, and I know I got so many friends. I got these Facebook friends. Free. Oh my gosh, they jump through. Free. They jump through the roof. If it ain't free, they ain't talking. So we've made an entire library of information available for people who just don't want to pay anything. Then the Premium Content Academy, folks, let me tell you again about that. That $7.99 a month is something that allows us to keep the lights on. It's not something that keeps the ministry going. It just keeps the lights on enough that we can keep trying to provide information to people. If we can get enough people that sign up for the Premium Content Library, the Academy Premium Content Library, maybe we'll get to a place where we can even start paying the Keymaker. No, I'm telling you, he's not that expensive, but we got to pay the guy. He's got kids. So anyway, those are the 3 places, but there's something that we're going to do in 2014 that I haven't got a chance to talk to a lot of people about, but I talked to my wife, Andrea. If you guys know about Andrea, she's in episode 4. She's our special guest. I told her last night, I said, I think what we've got to do next is we've got to make something available to those folks that even want to go further. The folks that want to interact even deeper with the Word of God. And so I'm about to do something which I'll be talking about next week. That's right. That is going to help those folks. And we're really intentional about this. And I have to just say, God has been so good to us. We started very small, and we still are small in terms of the size of the ministry, but in terms of our outreach and who we're reaching, we are really doing some amazing things. The amount of people that are interacting with us, the countries that are tapping in, it's got us to a place now. Okay, I'll make the announcement. You want the announcement? Okay. Folks, I just got off the phone. We have been invited to take Time Will Tell Season 1 to 140 countries on television. 140 countries on television. Just got off the phone. The phone call came, and they're saying, please, would you put Season 1 on television? And I said to them, I can't do it unless I first check with the people on if they think it's even important. If you saw Time Will Tell Season 1, this is what I want you to do. I simply want you to go to the BFA Facebook page, and we're going to put up on the BFA Facebook page, should we put Time Will Tell Season 1 on a network that is guaranteeing us a reach to 140 countries? And if you say, yeah, we should do that, then we're going to do it. If you say, no, we shouldn't do it, then maybe we won't do it. But I've made a big decision, Keymaker. Here's my decision this year. I'm not chasing the train anymore. What we're going to do is we're going to lay out the vision, and we're going to go to our Father in heaven and say, give us the provision. We're not going to beg to pay for something that's we're going to lay it out, the vision, and see if the Father ignites hearts for the provision. It takes the pressure off everyone. That's what we're going to do with this television thing. I'm telling you, I made the decision. I just got off the phone. They've said, please, would you put Time Will Tell Season 1 on a network to 140 countries? I said, well, I've got to check with the people. Check with the people, absolutely, because we can't do it without you. So the bottom line is BFA International Facebook page. I'm going to send them up my personal page to put it on BFA. All of our sites, we're going to go there and do a survey. Should we put, is this a good question? Are you speaking up about this, Keymaker? You don't like the question? Okay, so we're going to put the question. Can you get that question and put it up today? I'd like it up today if it can. The question is this. Do you think Time Will Tell Season 1 going to 140 countries is a good idea for BFA International? That's what I want to find out. And if you say yes, we're going to find a way to do it. And then we're going to lay it out as far as how we do it. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is the only thing I told him. I said we can do it, but we ain't got deep pockets. What we have is deep faith. And so our faith is going to lead us to a place where we're going to give the vision, the provision, and I'm going to ask a question on, and I need a verbal yes or no, Keymaker. If the people say yes, are you willing to be sure to get the 10 episodes uploaded into this international network every week? Are you willing to do it, yes or no? Can you say yes or no? Okay. Oh, he's typing yes. I guess he doesn't want to. Anyway, the Keymaker says he'll do it. You guys, we're going to do it. This is big news. I just think that this is really important. And the reason I want to share it with you is that rather than just kind of overwhelming people with all these huge things, we're just going to go piece by piece. The first thing we're putting on the agenda is this. Time Will Tell. Season 1. If you haven't seen it, become an Academy Premium Content Library person. You can watch Time Will Tell Season 1. That already went around the world just amongst the people on the church channel. We played it twice. But what I love about this is these are countries that I think are primed to hear about God's time. Oh, I like that. They're primed to hear about God's time. Can I get an amen? Keymaker, can I get an amen? Okay, even again, a little sound there. So anyway, folks, that is the big announcement. We're going to put that up today as you're listening to this. I want you to go to our Facebook page. If you haven't liked us, like us, but make your comment that says, yes, go to the world. Or no, it's a bad idea. Let's just keep it amongst us, remnant of us. Come on, let's get serious about this. Okay, folks, here's the deal. We've got some comments from last week. I've been trying to hold off on this. I don't look at the comments ahead of time, and I'll tell you why. I get inspired when I interact with people just right there. When people call me or email me or talk to me, I get inspired. So Keymaker, would you be willing to do this? Do we have anyone that responded from last week's Radical Series episode on No More Secrets? Wait, hold on. Okay, here we go with the questions. I've got questions here. It's on a piece of paper, and that's in large print for guys who need readers but that don't have them with them. That's me. John Williams, what on earth are Masons doing with the name? Funny, when most of the church masses don't even know. In other words, your question is, how is it that the Masons have the name and then the church doesn't? And now this is a great question. I don't even know all the answers. I do know this. Having the information doesn't mean that you're necessarily right. I do know that having the name of God in the Masonic lodge doesn't necessarily mean that they believe in everything that the name represents. And I think that's probably the thing that caught my attention, is because they do so many different things with the name. They use it in their rituals. They use it in decoration. They put it on aprons. It's a pretty amazing thing. And like I say, those that didn't see episode 2, you've already missed it. You can become a Premium Content Library person or possibly something else depending on how negotiations go over here. But for right now, you can go to the Premium Content Library, see episode 2. It's about me going in there. And as I mentioned, I went into the library where I wasn't really invited to go, I would say. Actually, I was invited to leave the building after my little interaction with Antoine. Antoine was an amazing tour guide. He's 45 years or something like that, but he got a little frustrated at the end when I asked him about who the Lord was, and his answer didn't please me. So anyway, Rosemary King, when will you compile all this info into concise written form so we don't have to stop the video constantly and take notes? The symbols and the rooms and the teachings of Antoine made me feel a bit ill. I am so impressed, Rosemary, that you would actually stop and take notes. I think that's one of the reasons that I love doing these episodes. We put in so much information. We don't expect for folks to just watch it and get all the information. This is what I want people to do, is to dig deeper. Now, if you have the ability right now to hire someone for us that will put this into a concise written form, we'll take them. Here's the issue. There's just a few of us. We're a very small ministry. We're not in a place where we can actually do that. There's so many things that we're doing that take up our time right now. I do like the idea. It's just that we don't have the resources. So prayerfully, if you think that's something you can help us do, we'd love to have someone come on to help us with this. Cindy Simmons. I love how Cindy has decided that she's going to write her note in all caps. I mean, what do you do there? Like a cap lock or something like that. She cap locks that junk. And then what she does, we say junk sometimes. These guys are influencing me. I apologize. She cap locks her computer so that it's all caps. So it says, wow, wow, wow. A very well done on episode 2, exclamation, exclamation. How in the world were you able to get into film? This blew me away and was completely amazing, especially seeing Yehovah, the name of the creator, right there in their documentation. A person cannot even get into the building in my town. It's so secretive. And for Keith to get in was huge, but to get in and film even bigger, and then to get into the library and have them assist you, I'd say he was protected by some pretty mighty angels. I call this favor from heaven. The Father opened doors for me. This was one where I got a chance to go in there. Once I got in there, they actually helped me. Antoine actually filmed some things for me, so he knew that I was filming. I mean, and whether they knew what was ultimately going to happen, I didn't know what was going to happen. I was just going on a process of discovery, and getting in there, had a chance to get all this information, which was amazing. Let me read one more. Gene Roberts. If the Masons are believers in a higher power and we saw Hebrew letters in one of the rooms, then who or what are these people and what do they really believe? Question mark. If this is a group of believers, then what are they doing with the pagan symbolism? What do the different levels of Masonry mean? What are the different levels? Is a 7th level Mason a god? Please clarify, and thank you, Keith, for the informative program. I gave you all the information I could give you, the ideas. I give you the information. You dig deeper yourself. I am not a Masonic master. I am not a person who knows all the answers. I literally did this. I was discovering, and I thought, I wonder if there are other people who would love to discover with me. That's what the Now is the Time season has been about. That's what Time Will Tell was about, was going on a process of discovery. And I thought to myself, rather than me going and writing a book, which I've done on 2 different occasions, what would it be like for people to have the interaction that I'm having or the encounters that I'm having? And so that's why I got the little camera, even though these guys don't think my camera is such high quality, big, huge. If I had one of the big cameras, I can't get in. So I go with the little HD camera and put the little fuzzy thing on it sometimes. But I go in, get this information, and again, the whole reason is for folks like you to keep digging and to keep asking and for dialogue to take place. So I thank you so much for those that have asked the questions. Let's see here. Bruce says this. Oh, no. Okay, Bruce says, amazing. Did you catch when their Masons' year begins and how their months begin? That's a great question. I tell you what I want you to do, Bruce. I want you to do a little research. You might be surprised. Lolita. I love Lolita. Here's her question. She says this, and her husband is Kirk. No, I'm telling you this. I know these folks. Lolita, you messed me up. How dare you? I'm originally from New York City. Oh, boy, I don't even want to ask. I'm not even sure I want to even. Let's see here. Now residing in Atlanta, and I thought I was rather up to date on all the landmarks in New York, even the not-so-popular ones. After seeing your program, I realized how much my grandmother was right when she said, if you want to hide something from someone, put it right in, I love that. Put it right in plain sight. They'll see it, but won't see it. Lolita, tell your grandma that she is right. That's exactly what has happened, and I'm actually looking forward to visiting New York for the sole purpose of visiting some of these sites. If you don't have a documented roadmap of these and other locations you visited for the rest of us, please consider putting something together for those like myself that would like to follow in your footsteps, although I doubt the Masons will let me in. They will let you in. All you have to do is tell them you're interested in being a Mason. I didn't tell them that. No, I didn't tell them that. I said that my grandfather, I'm telling you, I didn't say that. I said my grandfather was a Mason. They didn't go any further, and they took me on a tour. It was a recruiting trip, for goodness sakes. So Lolita, you can go there. I think that you can get in there and just tell them you're interested in what's going on, and you got someone. Listen, folks, I know I don't know how much time we have. I know I have supposed to have as much time as I want, but I need to get to the crux of the matter here. Episode 3 is available right now. Episode 3 is the linchpin of the entire series. Episode 3 does something that I just have to tell you has been, for me, it has been a fulfillment for a long time struggle that I've had since 2009. I've been in a personal fight with the former Pope. Well, I shouldn't call him the former Pope now. Benedict is he's in the Vatican. He's got an apartment in the Vatican. Him and the other guy, we got 2 popes in the Vatican, 2 holy fathers in the Vatican. One has given up, I think he's given his ring up or something, hasn't he, Keymaker? He's given up his ring. But anyway, the bottom line is in 2009, I got into a personal battle with Joseph Ratzinger. And my reason for he's emeritus. Look at he's the emeritus now. What does that mean? Find the definition for that. What does that mean? So, I mean, what is the kid? What is he emeritus Holy Father? What does that mean? I'm not trying to be disrespectful, folks. I really am not. But I got to tell you something. In 2009, I received a letter from the Pope that in the letter, he clearly defined why he and I are not on the same page. And actually, I talk a little bit about that in further episodes. But point is, I've been battling with him. And one of the things that happened when I was in New York is that I did not realize until I was there that he and I, though I had been at the Vatican earlier in the spring, then in the summer when I was in New York City, come to find out that he and I had another level where we had to get into a bit of I wouldn't call it hand-to-hand. I wouldn't fight him, but I'm saying I think it's an argument. We have an argument. So I was at the Vatican, tried to get a hold of him. They put the Swiss Guard in front of me. If you didn't go to time, we'll tell. I'm the only guy that's waiting to talk to the Pope, and the little funny guy with the funny uniform with the stripes stands directly in front of me. Nowhere else along the path he stands in front of me. So I think I think it was, what do you call that again? It happens to you sometime, Keymaker, where you're driving and they see you driving with your music on or whatever, and then they pull you over because it's called, what's that called where they, I don't know what it's called. Well, anyway, they basically ahead of time say, hey, let's, profiling. It's Pope profiling. It's Pope profiling is what they did. The Pope profiled me. I was at the Vatican with my little camera, and they put the Swiss Guard in front of me. So I couldn't talk to him. After that, I tried to get a hold of him. I went to the papal apartment. They wouldn't let me in. So I went to the obelisk and declared that he's not the Holy Father. And from there, the cops came, and it got ugly from there. Anyway, I've been in this battle with him. And so episode 3 goes into some depth. Episode 4, which we're going to talk about, it's connected. If you saw the Christmas special, you missed the first part because we didn't have time to put the whole part in there. We just did the Christmas special, but episode 4 continues what happened in 3, and then of course 5 just takes us right through the roof. Folks, I'm going to wrap this up now. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to be in prayer for us. And I mean this sincerely. I feel like we have an opportunity right now as a ministry to do some things that are really what I call open doors for effective ministry. There are some doors that are opening. I mentioned it earlier. I'm sorry I didn't tell you. Okay? I'm telling the people first. You're hearing it at the same. It's not disrespect. All I'm saying is, everyone's hearing together. We've been invited to go on international television with Time Will Tell Season 1. I think that's phenomenal. 140 countries. Now is the time, is in the middle of a 5-week run. Weekends only. On the weekends, you get to watch the episode. 3 is coming this weekend. I guarantee you, if there aren't questions after 3, then people aren't breathing. I want you to ask the questions. I want to have some dialogue with you. And then next week, I got a special surprise for everyone that's listening. Tell your friends next week's audio blog you don't want to miss next week. Okay? I'll be honest with you. Next week is going to be, can I tell? Should I tell them? No, don't tell them. Okay. Next week is going to be amazing. You guys, I'm not just being dramatic right now. Next week is going to be amazing. So anyway, I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you hanging in there with us. Those of you that are watching, continue to comment. Be in prayer for us. We are trying to be obedient to the call that we have right now, teaching the world about God's time, God's Torah, God's Tetragrammaton, His name. And the result of that has people encountering the creator of the universe. It's amazing what we're doing, how people are talking to us, what we're learning, how people are commenting. Let's continue to do that. Let me just say this last thing I'm going to say. I'd like to say this last thing. Would you do this favor for me? Keymaker, could you do this? We have something called a projects page. The projects page is going to be updated over the next month in a radical way based on the response of the people. The first new project on the projects page will be up when I'm doing. It's an audio blog. It's right. So by the day you hear the audio blog, would you just do me a favor? No pressure. Don't. In fact, I want to change the name of the menu. I don't want the word to be give anymore. People hear give and they get nervous. They think this is some This isn't what this is. This is exciting to see. In fact, I'm going to tell you something. I want you to go to the projects page, not just to see what we're doing, but I want you to go to the projects page to see what we did. This is amazing. Did you see this yet, Keymaker? The wizard, Link we call him, has found a way to show you on the projects page what happened last year with a green line. Here's what's amazing. You go to the projects page, bfa.com/projects. Am I right? Is that the right, is it forward slash? Let me see here, hold on. BFA, I can't see that. BFAprojects.com. We got that? We own that? We own BFAprojects.com. Anyway, you go to BFAprojects.com, you're gonna see not only what we're gonna put up first. The first thing we're gonna put up is the call to go to 140 countries. I'm gonna put it up on, I wanna put it up there. But what I want you to see is what happened in 2013. It's amazing. Little by little by little, people came alongside in 2013. We laid out, our ministry did something great. I think it's great. We laid out exactly what we needed. We laid out the vision, made it plain, and God brought the provision through a bunch of faithful people. Some just did a little, but you know what? Together, all those littles made a lot. We were able to make it through. And so if you take a look, you're going to see the green line. I like to call it the green line, which means we fully made our goal for 2013. We're going to keep that up for a while. We're about to put up 2014. Don't want to overwhelm you with that. The other thing I want us to do right now is to just lay out the challenge. Can we do this? Can we bring Time Will Tell to 140 countries? That's the question. And the question is clear. The answer is going to be given by you, those that are listening and those that come alongside. I want to say thanks again for listening. I want to thank you for watching. Now is the time. Those that are Premium Content Academy folks, library folks, thank you for what you're doing. If you go to the projects page and you're able to give whatever it is, I want to thank you in advance. Until next time, this is what I want to challenge you to do. You keep on watching, you keep on reading, and we're going to keep on working.